Hey everybody, Jacob Letman here. Before we get started with today's video, if you're like me, if you've been hanging out at home, cooped up, watching a lot of Netflix, and you need to make some extra money, that's what I needed to do. I started looking around. I found this great thing called Survey Junkie. They pay you to fill out surveys, and I know a lot of those turn into scams. They don't work out, but Survey Junkie has been around for 10 years now. I use it personally. You can cash out your earnings from your surveys in the form of gift cards for like Amazon or Starbucks, even though a lot of people probably aren't going to Starbucks right now. Or you can cash out directly to your PayPal account in the form of cash and pay for things like your rent or food, so you can keep binge watching Netflix and have snacks on hand. Anyway, if you guys are interested, check out the link in the video description below for Survey Junkie. All right, let's get started with the video. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Rideshare Hub. I'm Jacob Letman. Boy, I tell you what, you guys, it is already freaking hot as can be here in Arizona. We went from like 60 and rainy and cool and beautiful to like 98, 100 overnight. So anyway, I'm sitting in the shade making this video. I'm already sweating. Whew. Okay, hey, that aside, I want to update you guys about my unemployment application status. I applied initially a couple weeks ago and was denied, and so I wanted to send you guys an update and let you know where everything's at. And also in hopes that you would jump down in the comment section below. Let me know what state you are in, whether or not you've been able to get unemployment insurance benefits. Actually, pandemic unemployment assistance is technically what it is that we'll be applying for as self-employed people. But so anyway, here's kind of the situation. Like I said, a couple weeks ago, I was denied my unemployment insurance application, and the state website here says that they will update as soon as they are ready for self-employed people to apply for pandemic unemployment assistance. Here's a suggestion. I was able to, because it's a state-by-state program, I think a great recommendation is to find a state newspaper or news source, local news source that will give you more information directly on your state or city that you're in as far as where the unemployment insurance program is at with getting things updated for pandemic unemployment assistance. I was doing some digging around that way, and I found a lot more information. And again, because it's state by state, you want to find local information that's applicable to you. So, for example, here in Arizona, I found out that there have been 400,000 unemployment insurance applications, of which they believe approximately 170,000 of those are self-employed people, so they were asking, because there's so many people waiting, and we're coming towards the end of another month here, coming towards the end of April, which means rent's going to be due again, bills in general, and those stimulus checks. Some people have gotten them, some people haven't. Basically, it's crazy out there. So anyway, they were asking where things are at, and I found out that Arizona's state website technology is from the 1980s, hasn't been updated since then, so it was definitely not prepared for, logistically in an infrastructure sense, for all of this to happen and all of these applications to come through. So they're scrambling here, trying to create a new website for pandemic unemployment assistance, and they have not successfully done that yet. They don't even have a timeline. So like if you're in California, fortunately, you have a timeline of April 28th April 28th is the day set forth by the state of California, which you can apply as a self-employed person for pandemic unemployment assistance. So you guys got that going for you. Here they're like, well, we're hoping for 2 weeks, but we're not certain. So we'll keep you updated. What else is going on? Okay, so that's kind of all sitting in limbo. Now, the problem with that for me is, right, boy, since I've been like 16 years old, I don't think there's been a month of my life where I haven't worked at least some. This April is the first time in my life that's ever happened. So I've just been hanging out, trying to figure out how to piecemeal some money together so I can pay my bills. But what concerns me is if they don't get that website up for another couple of weeks, and then it could be a couple of weeks more, I think best case scenario, I'm looking here in Arizona at end of May before I see any income coming in. So, that being said, I've been looking at other options. One of those options is the Paycheck Protection Program. Many of you have probably heard of that. Some of you might know a lot about it. Others might not have any idea. That's okay. One of the misconceptions about it, I believe, is that it's for small businesses, right? Which small businesses are 500 employees or less. Misconception is that a lot of people don't think that includes self-employed people, which it does. So technically, as self-employed people, we can apply for those loans, which, if you follow the guidelines, which there are strict guidelines, but if you follow those correctly, that loan is forgiven and becomes a grant. So, and really there were two programs. One was the Economic Injury Disaster Loan. That had much fewer guidelines and restrictions and was essentially a grant up to $10,000. It was a grant up to $10,000. But those funds were gone lickety-split, and they're not really... Right now, Congress is trying to pass a bill. It actually might be passed right now, or it should pass today, be signed into law by Trump, I'm assuming later today, which will provide more funds to both of those programs. But the issues are that there's so many applications that are already in the pipeline waiting to get those funds. Those funds are getting depleted very quickly. So the Economic Injury Disaster Loan is pretty much not feasible if you haven't applied for it yet. Those, I don't think anyone's going to be able to get those. So there's the Paycheck Protection Program. And basically what that does is that provides a loan, potential grant, upfront, to small businesses to pay for 75% needs to go to payroll, and other funds can be used for like utilities. We could probably use it for like your vehicle loan. Anyway, the purpose of it though is to be able to keep people on payroll. One thing to know about it is that you cannot double dip. You can either file for a Paycheck Protection Program, or you can file for pandemic unemployment assistance, but not both. That would be double dipping, essentially. So, here's the deal. The funds are expected to dry up pretty quickly, but the pros of the Paycheck Protection Program, if you have all the information together and you can secure that, is that you will get money a lot faster and you can get a large sum of it. So you don't have to wait as long for the pandemic unemployment assistance program to be up and running, and then get qualified, and then get your money, and then do it get money coming in weekly. So it's a much more elongated process for sure. However, pros of that are that there's far fewer restrictions and guidelines on that. So anyway, that's where I'm at right now. I'm kind of weighing the two between the Paycheck Protection Program, if that's beneficial for me or not, or do I wait for pandemic unemployment assistance, which could take, another month or more. So anyway, that's kind of where I'm at. I'm going to make another video that goes into the PPP loan in detail to give you more information. So if you do think that's a good idea for you to go that route, check it out. Again, it is for self-employed people, and it is a viable option. All right, you guys. Anyway, that's where I'm at with everything, just kind of hanging out in limbo. I am using Survey Junkie while I'm hanging out at home doing all this research to make some money filling out surveys, and you can cash that out to PayPal, so you can get actual cash for that. So instead of just sitting around watching Netflix, if you want, do some surveys, make a little extra cash. All right. Link for that will be in the video description below. Anyway, that's what I got for you guys. Get at me with any question, comments, concerns. I'm Jacob Letman. This is a Rideshare Hub. Till the next time, you guys, stay safe out there.